joined now by South Charleston head basketball coach Vic Herbert. And, Coach, good evening to you.
Hey, how you guys doing? Man, I'll tell you what, you're talking about a blast. The other night was a blast for me. I mean, that's once-in-a-lifetime type of thing. I mean, you look down there and there's a Virginia Tech, a Tennessee, a Utah, an Arkansas, a Baylor, and you go in there and get to play against those kids with the loaded squad we had. Yeah, a lot of fun, and I'm so glad I got to go through that.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say here. I know you've done several All-Star games in the past, but how did it compare? Have you ever had a game like that go into overtime?
Oh, my gosh, no. I mean, the ones I've done before have been the North-South years ago down at Logan, and, of course, the AAA versus double single that Coach Bolin has had, and, back years ago also. But this is the first time it's been kind of a national thing, and, the kids were just tremendous, practiced very hard. It was just, like I said, a really good experience. And before you guys ask me anything else, I'd like to thank Coach Bolin. I mean, I know here's a guy that's got job offers from some Division I schools that I don't know what he's going to do, but heck of a job putting this thing together, and just tremendous. And I'd just like to tip my hat to Coach Bolin, who's been a good friend of mine for 25 years.
Yeah, Vic, I was down there as well Saturday, just as a spectator and media person watching it, but I thought it was really a well-run affair. And the thing that struck me about it, I've seen All-Star games, obviously not as many as you, but usually it's just roll the ball out, go up and down the court, and have some fun. Those kids played. I mean, again, it was high scoring, but there was some intensity. There was a ton of effort in that game.
Well, you're exactly right. There was. I mean, we took 3 or 4 charges. We ran down a couple guys that were out in front on the break and took them out, in a clean way to make sure they didn't get the shot up. Loose balls, looked to me like we got a lot of the 50-50s, but they were diving on the floor also. It was like no All-Star game I've been around. I mean, but here again, we explained to them in practice, we don't, that we knew this was an All-Star game, but we expected effort and we expected to win. And, being around the guys that I've had that's tutored me, into being a coach like, Coach Catlett and, Coach Akers, that's the way you play. And they understood that, and they got out there and got after it. I told them the guys that were guarding first 25 minutes of the game, and, they'd be the ones that played the last 15. And all of them were guarding, so that's why they all kept going, rotating in and out of there. But what a bunch of players Coach Huggins has coming, though, great kids.
Hey, Vic, obviously in your time you've seen a lot of talented players. Question all Mountaineer fans probably want to know. Assess where those guys are at and what kind of games they have and how they'll translate to the next level.
Well, let me ask you guys something. You want me to tell you the truth?
Not lie to us.
Or you want me to blow smoke? I mean,
no sugarcoating.
No. Okay, I'm going to tell you exactly how I feel. Devin Williams is a beast. That kid right there, I believe, in my personal opinion, I asked him how much he was weighing when I saw him there, and he said about 245. Kid's 6'8". I think he's a play right away guy. That's my personal opinion. I think Elijah Macon's not far behind. I think he's a big kid that's 6'9", 250, 260. He's gonna play right. Get minutes right away is what I'm talking about. Nathan Adrian, I think he'll play a lot of ball at West Virginia, but I'm not too sure that it'll be early. Bake's nephew, Brandon Watkins, I think the same thing. I think he's got to get in the weight room, get bigger, get stronger, but I think he's going to be a great Mountaineer before it's all said and done. But here again, he may be a year away or so. But those other 2 cats, they're ready to go right now.
Yeah, you've also seen Adante Grantham there on the high school level as well. He still has a decision to make, but how do you break down his game and how the future could pan out for him at the next level?
You know what? In our practice on Friday night, he probably had a better practice than anybody. I was real impressed. I mean, Coach Rogers has done a great job getting that kid ready. And here's another kid because of his versatility on the defensive end. He can guard a 2, he can guard a 3, and at times a 4. So that's another kid that may get on the court early. And we talked, and the kid kind of wants to take his visits, but I wouldn't be too surprised to see him be a Mountaineer when it's all said and done. And if Coach Huggins can land him, that's another jewel. I think that kid will have a tremendous career in Morgantown.
Vic, again, my impressions, and you hit almost all I saw, so I feel pretty good about my evaluation process. But usually you get a high school kid, they've got to get bigger and stronger to play at the major college level, especially with what Hugs is trying to do. But Devin Williams and Elijah Macon look to be at least coming off the shelf ready in terms of size and strength. Am I right there?
No question. I mean, they're seniors in high school setting on junior and college's bodies. I mean, those kids are built for the big show. I mean, you know, they big-shouldered, thin waist. I mean, just men at just like a man-child. I mean, these kids are ready to go body-wise right now. And with, you know, Coach Huggins and his guys that get them in the weight room as far as cleaning that up and even tightening it up more, those kids in a couple years, I mean, they're already huge. In a couple years, when that gets tightened up, I think they're going to be really, really special. And I think you'll see special things out of both of those kids next year on the court.
Again, we're speaking with Vic Herbert, South Charleston head basketball coach. He coached those WVU signees in the Scott Brown Memorial Classic from over the weekend.
All right, Vic, last week I asked you if you were going to call a timeout and get up in them and give them a little bit of the Huggins treatment. Were you able to accomplish that?
Well, I mean, you know, who was it that was down there? Which one of you guys was down?
I was, Greg Hunter.
Coach Hunter.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, Coach, I mean, you saw how I coach. I'm pretty, I mean, I'm not a you know, intense jump on one kid real hard very often unless I have to. And a lot of times I try to keep that in the locker room because I'm on the high school level. But you know, I'm pretty animated over there. I get up and down and I get into it. And the kids, you know, I think the kids feed off the coach's excitement. And, yeah, I mean, they played so hard, and it's hard as a coach to do anything but encourage and push forward when they're playing that hard. The thing that coaches don't like, or at least the good ones, is lack of effort. And Coach, I don't think there's any question you didn't see a lack of effort on either team the other night.
No, you got to give Ryan Arrowwood's club a lot of credit too. They played really hard. Also, take us to the other side of those guys. I mean, you talked about bigger and stronger for a few of them. You talked about what Devin and Elijah can do. What do they still have to work on once they get to West Virginia?
Well, I mean, you know, I think footwork-wise, Devin's in real good shape. You know, probably perimeter shot. Like, you know, remember Kevin Jones came in and had to work on that and turned himself into a real good perimeter player when he had to go out there. I think Devin's the same way, a little flat on his outside shot, but he's not looking to shoot that a lot. I mean, you know, he had Dominique Woodson on him a lot of times. Dominique's 6'10", 300, kid going to Baylor, and he went right at him, just banged him under the basket. I mean, he strength-wise, he's there, and he's going to get stronger. But I'd say perimeter shot for him, and maybe stamina, you know, which a lot of kids coming into the college game, you know, have to work on their stamina a little bit. And I'd say probably for Elijah Macon, maybe some footwork. His perimeter shot looked to be a little bit better than Devin's, but he's got also has an inside game, and he plays above the rim. They both do. So probably stamina for both of them. Perimeter shot for Devin, I'd say. But those guys right now have all the tools it's going to take to make really good players up there.
You know, last couple of things here for you, Coach. I know you worked with these guys for a 2-hour practice before the game. How did they pick up what you wanted them to do? Was there maybe a player or two who stood out as far as mentally grasping things quickly?
Well, my two kids, you know, Hunter Moles and Rashad Kincaid, they, of course, have been around what we do, and they picked it up pretty quick. Andrew Johnson, who took Beckley's point guard, who took the charges, picked up real good, and all of them did, because we tried to make it simple and just put in a couple basic offensive sets. Obviously, we were going to go inside with the ball as much as possible, and that's how we won the game. When we started launching it from three, that's when they got up 10 in the second half, and then when we called a couple of timeouts and settled them down and explained to them what got us the lead in the first half and went back to pounding it inside, that's when we caught up and went ahead. So, yeah, they were all very attentive. Yes sir, no sir kids. You know, didn't have to set on any of them. They were just very respectful, and that's a credit to them, because some all-starter games I've been involved in, every now and then you get some of them that are a little out of hand. You got to set on a little bit, but this one here, no, they just wanted to win, and that's kudos to them. Great things coming, I think, in Morgantown. People be patient with these kids, and I think they're going to see some great basketball up there.
Coach, what'd you think of the play of some of the kids on the other team? I thought the Kingsley kid who's heading to Arkansas looked like he's got a chance to be really special.
Oh my gosh, that kid's pretty good. Yeah, I mean 6'9", 220. I was talking to him after the game. He had it down to Louisville, North Carolina State, and Arkansas. And I said, man, what the heck? Why didn't you go to the national champs? And he said, well, I want to have a chance to play a little early.
Yeah.
But, and he does have a chance. That kid could go anywhere and play, but that kid's special. I'm looking at the stat sheet right now. He played 42 minutes and got 22 points and 15 rebounds. Yeah, that kid's good. The Woodson kid, once he gets back in shape, kid going to Baylor, I think he's going to be a heck of a player. Big body. I mean, and a great touch from 15 feet on in. Of course, I like Trayvon Landry, the point guard going to Tennessee. I think Kincaid and Andrew Johnson played him basically to a draw. I was real impressed with our guard play on him, especially his reputation as a defender, and we didn't turn it over much against him at all. So, yeah, those guys were good. And then, Fields, the Utah kid, Dante Clark, Tech kid, those kids are all going to be really good. And also QJ Peterson going to VMI. He's a quality kid. Won the dunk contest, came in second in the three-point contest. So, all those kids that they have, I'm sure, are going to make an impact on the Division I level.
Yeah, Peterson there, former standout with Hedgesville, of course, when they won the state championship. Well, Coach, really do appreciate the time. How about it's never too early to look ahead to next year. What group do you have coming back? And I know you had a great run again this year. It came up a little short, but what are you going to have back for next season?
Well, we got beat in the quarterfinals twice and the semifinals twice since I've been here, just trying to still kick in that door. Small, I haven't been able to. That's why coaching these guys is unreal for me because, four straight years I'm starting a 6'6" center with 5'11" forwards. I mean,
yeah,
you get a chance to go with this kind of stuff, but really good. We started 4 seniors this past year, but probably the best crop of freshmen I've had come in. So I would expect us to be as good as we were this year at the end of next season, maybe not as good at the beginning. So, but thanks for asking. I think we're going to be okay at South Charleston.
Yeah, this is the first time you were in a huddle where you were looking up at players. You spent a lot of time looking down at players in your huddles at South Charleston lately.
Exactly. I'm telling you. I mean, here again, I cannot reiterate the joy it is for a coach to get to go out there and coach this kind of talent. I had 1 or 2 chances years ago before I got in business for myself to get on as assistant coach on the Division I level, and I've always wondered what would have happened if I would have decided to do that. But this gives me that little piece of candy to kind of see what it would have been like to be able to coach this kind of talent. But what a joy. I hope Coach Bolin has me back one day.
Well, good stuff, Coach. Appreciate the time. Thanks for coming on here and not sugarcoating anything, and we'll catch back up with you down the road.
Hey, one more thing. I'm going to take Creedy's little thing. How about them world champion Mountaineers, guys?
There you go.
Okay, guys. I appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, Coach. Thank you. There you go. South Charleston head coach Vic Herbert.